In October of 2021, a report was published about infiltration by the Camorra into Naples' health system, and 40 people were placed under precautionary measures, which can include pretrial detention in Italy. Now, a court in Naples is currently asking for indictments against 48 people in connection with the Camorra infiltration of hospitals in the region. Those indicted include a Camorra boss named Luigi Cimino and officials from the labor unions and major hospitals and health companies involved. These include Cardarelli, the Colli Company, and Nuevo Policlinico. Many other employees at the hospitals were complicit in corruption, and some have also been indicted. The Camorra group that was responsible is called the Secondilio Alliance, and it's based in the Vomero neighborhood of Naples. It's one of the most powerful organized crime groups in the city, with additional branches in Spain and the Netherlands. It's involved primarily in drug trafficking and money laundering, but also graft and corruption within the city, as was the case with the hospitals. In this case, they were diverting money that was meant to be spent for various important functions within the health system, including food, ambulances, transportation of the dead, and cleaning services. Within the hospital's food system, they wholly owned and operated many of the cafes and vending machines. They controlled the janitorial services for many of the major hospitals and clinics, and they set up their own fake parking attendants and collected a cut of their earnings. When construction projects were planned at the hospitals, officials were extorted for a cut of the building cost. For the transportation of the dead, organized crime had access to the central medical records in the hospitals in which they operated, so they knew which patient was going to die, and they could threaten families to ensure that their dead relatives would be transported by a certain company to the cemetery or crematorium. They would then extort the companies they diverted business to the tune of hundreds of thousands of euros for each company each year. And most dangerously, the Camorra diverted money meant for ambulances, which resulted in substandard care and endangered the lives of people living in the communities where the scam was operating. Although in this particular case, it was mostly non-critical parts of the health system that were being targeted, aside from the ambulances. Organized crime involvement in the health system in Naples is very widespread. And there have been many cases like this, and it often leads to worse health outcomes for the people living there because there are problems like delayed blood for blood transfusions and the ambulance problem in this case. And this story demonstrates the way organized crime still controls many aspects of life, both in the books we've read and in real life Naples. And it shows how its public services and infrastructure are degraded by it. It is also reminiscent in a lot of ways of the way the Solares want Elena's mother to be cared for in a specific hospital. Thank you. Are degraded